All right. Hopefully we can get the stream going here. So we are live, it looks like, which is good. Let's see if I can find the link here. Cool. Got that link. Gonna post it right here in my Discord. Hopefully people can make it. If they can't make it, hopefully they can watch it later. But there we go. It is in my Discord channel there. Hey, E. Nathan, nice to have you here. Yes, you are first. You're speedy. I love to see that. Thank you for coming. We also have SS Wally. Thank you so much for getting here so quickly. I appreciate it. You guys are amazing. So this week we got, the whole time we've got the Archdemon the whole week, right? Sorry, I got caught up in my words there. So we got the Archdemon the whole week. We do have another day of this Happy Birthday Dominion. I believe a second half of this event will start in, a day and an hour. Hey, Gary. Hey, Ron. Nice to have you guys here. Appreciate the support. We have OO Negro as well. Love to see it. It's nice to have you guys here. Today we're starting a little bit later, for me at least, because I meant to start a little bit early, about 10 minutes earlier, just because, I got back from the library a little bit late, was doing a little bit of studying, doing some real estate law, right? Lot going on there. But anyway, happy to be with you guys here now, and it's really nice. I'm glad that we're able to have some fun playing Hero Wars, get away from all the noise that's going on in the real world. But at the same time, though, I will say I have been keeping up with March Madness. I don't know if you guys were watching it all. I was up pretty late last night cheering on Syracuse. Hey, we ended up pulling out the W. So, Boeheim had a really good game. But anyway, a lot of brackets getting messed up with a lot of upsets. I don't know if anyone else is following that. Sorry, that was a little side note there. But anyway, so we still have this event going on. I think it's gonna end. The tabs will end for this particular half, I believe, in a day. I actually think that there's going to be more to this event in terms of, I don't know why I'm thinking that. I think that there's a second half. I could be wrong. I'm just feeling like there was, and maybe I'm wrong. I need to do some more quiz points, but I was able to get all of the rewards there. This birthday event is a blast. I agree. I actually really like the fact that I don't want to say you can almost essentially get free rewards, assuming you have the right heroes. But you can definitely, if you get all 7 pieces of this cake, you get 6 really nice rewards. There's a lot there for you. Titan Arena or new campaign chapter. Okay. Titan Arena or new campaign chapter. New campaign chapter. I'm really enjoying it so far. Awesome. Are you guys saying that there's a new campaign chapter coming out, and I haven't just been paying attention? Is that what happened? When did that get announced? What? I'm missing out? Oh no. Hold on. Let me run some of this real quick. Okay. I need to see what you guys are talking about. So you guys are talking about Titan Arena or a new campaign chapter. Was there an announcement on Hero Wars today? Did I miss that on Facebook? Let's see. Facebook. Hero Wars. But anyway, yeah, no, this event's really good. I really like the fact that, we're going to be seeing a new frame. Hey, Kajanir, nice to have you here. Let's see. So Hero Wars. I'm just gonna double check because I don't want to miss something that all you guys are talking about here. Oh, I would rather. Would you rather have a Titan Arena or new campaign chapters? Gotcha. I think that's an interesting call. I personally would like to have new campaign chapters because it would just allow for there to be more stuff in game and potentially more puzzles. I personally really like puzzles, so I would like to have that added. Plus, I mean, potentially we could get more soul stones. Um, Titan Arena, I feel like right now Titans are so concrete in terms of like being locked in that almost the tournament of elements is good enough. But that's my opinion there. I don't know what you guys think. That's a great question though. But I definitely think that just because of the way totems work and everything, it just gives an unfair advantage to those who have them and not to those who don't. Onegra here says, I'm really trying to push my Go Teen Titan Go squadrons from the discounts. Yeah, no, right now is a really good opportunity if you do purchase emeralds to take advantage of the ×4 sale. Plus, you get a percentage off, so you're really getting a good deal. Sorry, that is not what I meant to show. You're getting like a percentage off on your ability to summon. So yeah, Onegro's right. If you're able to take advantage of the ×4 sale and work it with these discounts, you're definitely getting some good deals, I would say. It's a good point. I would like it if they add other heroes, soul stones like Dorian. I completely agree. Sorry, I'm getting a text asking if I want to play Among Us. And my answer is absolutely. I'd love to play Among Us tomorrow. Sorry. But anyway, okay, so also there's a new airship coming out. I don't know if any of you guys play Among Us, but it's supposed to be pretty cool. Anyway, sorry, getting back to this. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a fair point. If they add in Dorian, it makes him easier to obtain. I personally 100% agree with what you're saying, Wally. I don't know if you guys saw this. I did mention it real briefly in my video. I know Wally saw it. I don't know if everyone saw it, so I just want to make sure everyone's on the same page that there are 2 brand new heroes available in the Guild Wars shop, right? We have Arachne now and Yasmin. I'm sure most of you guys already know, but I want to make sure everyone knows so everyone doesn't miss anything. We got Arachne and Yasmin added to the Guild Wars shop, and we also have 2 new heroes up here. We have Anvari, and I believe it's Sebastian. 2 top-tier heroes that you can trade for these elemental tournament certificates. I know one of my guildmates was waiting on Sebastian Soulstones, so you can literally get, right now, in my opinion, the best support hero in Dominion on Facebook and web in the Tournament of Elements, the Elemental Tournament shop, using these Elemental Tournament certificates. I just think Sebastian's really OP, really blocks out Jorgen, is a game changer. So just a thought. Hopefully everyone knew. If they didn't, now you do. So yeah. Is Yasmin Soulstone always going to be in the Guild Wars shop? I think, yes. I think this is going to be a permanent solution for now. Hey, hey PC, nice to have you here. Appreciate you. It's good to have you here. Thank you for helping out with some recruiting as well. I did talk with, now I'm blanking on his name. I believe it's like RC. I don't remember, but I did talk to him. Happy to have him in our guild. So that is awesome. Hey, Ben. Nice to have you here as well. Appreciate you. I also was going to run a couple of teams if you guys wanted on the Archdemon. I already collected today's prize using just 1 hit. So I used the top team, right? Yep. Hey, Papa Charlie. Nice to have you here. But yeah, no. So I know a lot of people were asking me, if I don't have, because one of the teams that I recommended entailed using Cleaver. So if you don't have Cleaver, Galahad's a good substitute. Granted, today he doesn't have a buff. He did have a buff yesterday. And then, I've seen, using all of the starter heroes, I've seen a pretty good amount of damage actually been done. And I realize, the reason I point this out is for players who are brand new, who maybe don't have everyone, and are unable to access those top heroes. Like you're saying, it's crazy how Lilith can get bigger than the Archdemon. Yeah, Lilith grows every single time she uses her first ult, and that can definitely be crazy. I've also been told that if you use a lot of the, what do you call it? A lot of the magic attack heroes, they tend to do pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and use this team. I actually haven't done this personally. Hey, Melissa, nice to have you here. No worries, we really kind of just got started, if I'm being 100% honest. So far, we were just talking about the event, and it seems like everyone's having a pretty fun time with the event so far. Some people were talking about how amazing it is that we have a ×4 sale plus a discount on various things. I actually got super lucky, guys, and I pulled an absolute Mara. I will have to show you guys that, but I pulled her yesterday. I did use emeralds. Yes, I did. Shamefully, I regret. I mean, I don't regret it because I got an absolute Mara, but I did use emeralds. I'll admit that. But I'll definitely show you that. Is reward for Archdemon for a piece of cake we will get if we log in every day. Okay, so this is a good question. Yes and no. So what you need to do, right? You won't get it just for simply logging in. You need to fight the Archdemon at least one time, right? Even if you only do 1 damage to the Archdemon daily, then yes, you will get a piece of cake every single day. So to get 1 slice of the cake, you need to do damage to the Archdemon, which means you need to battle at least 1 time per day. Okay? And that should get you the ultimate reward, which is 7 slices of the cake. If you attack the Archdemon once per day, you'll get 1 slice every day, and you'll be able to get all the rewards. So yeah, you'll totally be able to do that if you simply just attack 1 time. It's not just for logging in. You will actually need to fight the Archdemon. And you would want to, because then you'll get rewards. And these rewards reset every single day. They change, and they're all, in my opinion, pretty good considering, especially if you're a higher level, you've been playing longer. These are pretty easy to obtain. So I would say these are some good rewards. And even if you're a newer player, if you can get even like, I would say, even like 5 or 6 of these, you got some really good rewards. And where when I started, these rewards weren't even, you wouldn't be able to get rewards like this very easily in an event. So definitely take advantage. I used the team you suggested, but it didn't go as well as yours did. If I don't have all the skins for those heroes, will that make it more difficult? I actually think the answer to this is yes. I've been told no, but I think yes. And I did not use any patronage pets on that fight. No, I did not. I personally, it's a lot of work to do that. I mean, I get it. It's actually not a whole lot of work, because if you click on the hero, then you do control and you click on it, you can easily reset patronage. But I personally don't change my patronage too much now for 2 reasons. One is because if I change it, then my arena team gets attacked a lot. And I don't know if you can see, like, yeah, I'm at rank 30 right now, but usually I stay around rank, I don't want to say around rank 30, but, I was around rank 62, but, 35, 62, we basically were fighting back and forth. But when you change the patronage, it takes it off your defense as well. And there was one point when I got knocked down pretty exponentially. I got knocked down to 165, and that's not very normal for my account on this server. So I knew as soon as I saw where I was ranked that part of that was because I moved the patronage to my other heroes for this event, and I didn't change it back. So then I got beaten down a little bit. And that happens. So that's why I just kind of don't do it. Plus, I can get the points that I need. Hey, Brian. Nice to have you here as well. Onegro here says, then I got a squad that got me 242 million. Very nice. Yeah, so I used the same squad that I used yesterday, and it didn't get me, the top scores here that are like 600 mil, but I was able to get about 489 mil. So I was able to get everything done that I needed to in this event in one matchup. I thought I clicked I for info, but I don't know why. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so Mojo did a lot of damage for me. I know some people were saying today people swapped out Sebastian for Orion and it did more damage. fair enough, but you only really need 300 million to complete the event. Anything over it is really overkill or just for fun. So yeah, absolutely. I didn't think it mattered since all your heroes are maxed out. So it shouldn't matter, but I think it does. It's very similar to how you have patronage, right? So if you just have the pet, you can use the pet, but you can't necessarily use patronage unless your pet is blue, right? So unless your pet is blue, you can't automatically use it. So I would assume that there's going to be some barriers when it comes to skins as well. That's just my hot take. Hey, Claudio, nice to have you here as well. I appreciate that. Greetings from Brazil. Wow, I'm, international. I love that. I'm from the US personally, so I appreciate you coming on here. It means a lot. Um, Claudio's a new guildmate. Awesome. Nice to have you with us. Um, so I appreciate that. And so here I will say, okay, so still working on, I haven't really taken the last, level 131 too seriously. We've beaten it twice using getting 3 chests. I have seen it done to where it gets cleared completely for 4 chests. But my teams aren't quite there yet. But here is my absolute Mara. Pride and joy. Got her yesterday. I was so happy. Just pulled her. It was crazy. I traded in all of my excess soul stones that I had for her. And yeah, hey, Wally, at the end of the day, if you get 300 mil, that's all you can. I mean, it doesn't really help if you score way more than 300 mil, if I'm being honest, in that event. So, all in all, I'm sure you did great. But yeah, here's my Mara. Super stoked on how she turned out. And right now, I will say I traded in her soul stones, and at the merchant now, I do have some of these pet soul coins. Oh, I need to do these real quick. 27 seconds left. We beat the buzzer, but we got some pet soul coins, so I'm able to use those to basically get some pet potions. I do still need Mojo soul stones, so I'll trade those in. But I don't need Arachne. Do I need Ginger or Peppy? No. Nope. So we're good. But in 4 seconds, we'll get a reset there. But thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate that. Okay. I do not have Jew and Sebastian. What heroes will replace for more damage? I would say using, again, I realize Galahad isn't going to be as good as Jew. Jew's just one of those heroes who does really good against bosses. I can't explain it to you. He just really, really does. He has some really special critical hit chance. Plus, he has some really good survival abilities. So, assuming you're kind of like a newer player in terms of having like fewer characters, right? You don't have everyone. I recommend Galahad. Galahad is actually a pretty solid option. Then I also recommend, let's see, for Sebastian, if you don't have someone, do you have Orion? Orion is obtainable via the tower coins. If you have Orion, I would consider looking at Orion. Oops, I hit the wrong button there. I would consider Orion in this merchant here, looking at the tower, and you can get Orion Soulstones. I would consider Orion and Galahad as replacements. Might not do as great as the initial team, but you'll still be able to do quite a bit of damage. And I know depending on the buffs, it could definitely work out in your favor. What server is this account on? So this server is on 35. I know my other account is on 51. And I played on 51 all day today. 35, I literally logged in for like 2 seconds, I want to say. I logged in twice because I had to get free energy, but I didn't do too much in terms of any real tasks or quests or anything, so I got to do that. Can't leave my guildmates hanging here. So I will be doing this going like that. But yeah, So that's where I'm at. I'm on 35 right now on this account, but I definitely am investing more time and everything into 51, which is where I'm the guild master of a guild on server 51. So that is where I'm spending most of my time. Right now we're kind of in a transition phase. We have a couple players who, are retiring or, decided to, maybe take it easier. So they're just taking a break right now. So we do have openings if people are interested in that. I don't know. I'll just throw that out there, I guess. But yeah, we're just kind of in a rebuild right now. That's what's going on there. I'm just going to have to get 2,000 of those for it to happen for me now. Yasmin, Sebastian, and Vari are one of the heroes I need so I can have all heroes if I get them. And all I will need is Corvus, Morgan, Martha, and Cleaver. So that is awesome. I'm glad to hear that for you, Nathan. I will say Cleaver is a very tough hero. On mobile, I'm a free to play player on mobile, and over a year, I still do not have Cleaver. Granted, I've only been using free pulls because I'm still working on maxing out my Titans on mobile. And here, of course, my GM here, chest level 34, crazy, good for him. But oh, guys, if you didn't get this reward from the YouTube gift, definitely get that. It's not mine, but Hero Wars itself had this gift. If you missed it, I highly recommend you go back, go to the Facebook page, go to find the YouTube video, and click and get this reward. This is a really good reward. You get an avatar, you get 5 portal charges, 200 chaos particles, and 5 large skin stones. Highly recommend. I know some people missed it, so I just want to re-emphasize so no one does miss out on that. Did not have Jew as well, but I did well putting in Sebastian. But I had to patronize him with Axel. Fair enough. That's not a bad substitute there. Corvus, Morgan, Phobos, Neb. Okay, so you want to see this team. You got it. You're saying about 100 mil. Okay, so this is a good team. So Corvus, let's go ahead and do it. Undead team kind of in a sense. We've got Corvus, we got Phobos, Corvus and Morgan, Nebula and Martha. I think I used Martha, but we'll use Celeste instead. And you used Nebula. All right, it might not do the same because I'm using a wrong hero. I'm not using Martha, but fair enough. I think that could be a definitely good team, Brian. Especially for someone who doesn't use Martha in, if they aren't able to field that regular Jew team, this could be an alternative. It'll do about 100 mil if you substitute in Martha for Celeste, is what Brian's recommending. Hey, Surprise, nice to have you here. I appreciate you coming in. You did 500 million damage. Congratulations. That's amazing. That means you got all the rewards for the day. What more could you ask for, right? Yeah, on my other account, I used Jew, Mojo, Dorian, Peppy. Martha, since I don't have Orion, did 236 mil damage. And my main account is Jew, Mojo, Orion, Dorian, and Martha. And they did 338 mil. Hey, you know what? If you're getting maxed out prizes, I'm happy for everyone. And that's what I want. Like, if everyone can get maxed out prizes, like the 300 mil, I'm so stoked on that. And if someone gets a high score, hats off to you. But at the end of the day, I will say it's kind of a bummer you don't get anything extra. But that's just my hot take. If I get all the heroes to 130 and I still get Guardian Caskets, will I still get Guardian Caskets, or will it stop till a new hero is released? So if you get all heroes maxed out, you still will get Guardian Caskets, but you'll get less of them because some of the quests will not be completable. So like, for example, let's say like EXP potions, right? Using an EXP potion, I've been told that when you don't have any more heroes to max out, you can't get that Guardian Casket daily because you can't use the EXP potion. So you might have to wait to complete certain quests. That got exactly 100 million damage. I did not put any patronage on. So you're right. It was about 100 million damage with no patronage. If I get use those 2 teams on my free to play because I haven't got Jew, fair enough. But you do know where to get Jew as long as you know that's what's important. Papa Charlie says, press like, guys. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support. Ahmed here says, silver coins, do you recommend to upgrade the totem or purchase soul stones for new players? I think that's a great question. So here's my approach with the merchant. So on this account, I decided that I wanted to, for the Guild Wars shop, I wanted every single skin before I wanted to do anything with my totem. But, right, so I decided that but I started one at a time. So I had all of these, right, I still had to buy all of these. So the first one I bought was the gold. I think I just went straight, I bought the Jorgen one first because Jorgen was one of the top heroes at the time. This was before Sebastian came out. So I got the Jorgen champion skin first. And with my silver trophies, I used my silver trophies to upgrade my totem. But if you're only talking about silver totems or silver Guild War trophies, if you use Ju or Yasmin on your main team and they're not absolute, I would recommend getting them to absolute before you move on to your totem. And the reason for that is because your hero team, right? If your hero team needs those soul stones, get them. So then you can advance and do well in arena. And when you do well in arena, you will then be able to get emeralds back, which should help your team to continue to improve, hopefully help your guild enough so then you can keep generating more and more Guild War trophies. So I would say if you can do it, and you already have these two heroes, if you have one of those two heroes on your main team, I would recommend getting them with soul stones, right? And then if you can't do that, or you don't need them, then go ahead and consider using them on your totem. And from there, maybe some skins after that. But I would say it depends on what you have and who you're working with. That's just my hot take. I'm sure other people can weigh in as well. Surprise, I want to do 650 million damage on the 21 with teams. What teams you have in mind? Totem. Yeah, totems are definitely important, I will say. It just depends on, again, if you use Yasmin as your main damage dealer and your Yasmin's only 5 stars, I would say get your Yasmin to absolute before you go to your totem. But other than that, totem's probably the answer unless one of these two heroes is on your starting team. That's just my opinion. First live show, thanks for all the great content. Thank you for coming in, Exploding Beer. I love your name. That's amazing. And thank you for coming in. It means a lot. Okay, so going to surprise, the best team that I've seen so far, consistency-wise, right? And this is based off of last year as well, and it's the team that I use regularly. I did feature it, but the team that I used was one that, okay, let's pull up the info again. Mojo, Ju, Dorian, Sebastian, and Martha. And I realized today's top team took out Sebastian and Orion and put in Orion. And I think part of that is Orion today has a buff. Let me double check that that's true, but I think he does. Yeah, so Orion's buffed today, and I know that Sebastian was not. So that is one reason that I think, you could go with a Magic team. And I think you do pretty good today because most of these guys are buffed, which can definitely make things interesting. Let me see. I don't really have a good tank who's a magic damage dealer. I'm seeing, because I don't want to separate the twins. Guess we can just use Anvari as an off tank. See how it goes. Totem fragments are what it's all about. I think that's fair enough, and I definitely think it's true for a lot of people. And I will say with totem fragments, using your silver fragments can definitely be a huge bonus because the stronger your totem is, the more damage it does. And it also, right, the cool thing about totems, and I'll show you in a second. So as soon as this matchup ends, I'm going to just go ahead and skip through. Skip battle. We did not that much damage, 16 mil. But anyway, okay. So I will say one good thing about totem fragments and leveling them up, and let me show you here. So I'm sure some of you guys know, some of you guys don't know. Leon's no good. Yeah, I figured Leon's no good for this particular event because everyone else keeps attacking the one one target. Should have known better. But anyway, okay, so with your totems, right? You have to realize that every time you increase your totem strength, not only is your totem dealing more damage, right? So if you have fire, it deals more damage. Plus, you get attack to all your fire titans. And if we're looking at water, right, you gain more damage and you gain health back, and your attack for all your water titans is increased. For earth, right, we have damage absorbed and deflected by the barrier. And then all your earth titans gain more health. So there are beneficial stats to your titans in addition to the skills that your totems boast. So like that's a huge thing when it comes to totems, and one reason totems are so heavily emphasized. I hope that makes sense. And I hope that answered your question there. Let me double check. Let's see. Who asked that question? I should know. And hopefully that answers your question there. If not, let me know. We can definitely talk about it more as well. Jew, Mojo, Martha, Dorian, Orion, and Pet Albus. I made 540 million damage today. Congratulations, Renee. That is amazing. I love that. And I think that might be pretty close to a top score there. Let me double check here. Ranking 540. Wow, a lot of people got 600. Wow. Good for them. And they all used Orion. Fair enough. But no, 540, that's crazy. That's really good. And hats off to you. That's amazing. Surprise, hits the like button if you are watching. Thank you so much, Surprise. I appreciate that. And everyone else who's hitting that like button, thank you so much as well. It means a lot. Melissa, thank you so much. Yeah, no, I will say getting all these totems up to snuff was definitely a tall task. So I appreciate that. It was also a long journey. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way that these guys turned out. It took a little bit longer than I thought it would, but I got them all. Winterfest did wonders for me. It really, really did. And Titan Artifacts is where I'm kind of working on next. I was able to complete Hyperion the other day, right? So he's completely done. And next I'm working on the tanks. I'm working on Moloch and Sigurd. And really right now I'm trying to collect enough fragments to basically finish off the evolution here. Still pretty far off. I can't really do anything right this second. But let's see. And another thing, I don't know if you guys know, but you can trade in, right? Let's say you have an excess fragments. Let's say you finished, I don't know, Raji's first skill. You can, right, like, okay, this one. For example, I'm done with my seals. So you can trade in your seals, right? You'll get a lot less back, but you still, it's better than just holding on to them, in my opinion. Like, I'll get half of what I am basically selling here, but I can't use these. So for me to sell my fragments back, and then basically be able to get a different fragment means a lot to me. So I don't know if you guys are aware or are at that point yet, but you can do that if you want. Just thought I'd point it out. So once you trade those in, you can trade for these guys. So you can see I got exactly half, right? 255 from 510. Not enough to be able to finish off the evolution, but we'll get close, right? So we're a lot closer than we were. About 1,500 off from being able to evolve. We can definitely level up here a little bit, and we will. So that's what we got going on there. Think they will have the Earth Titan event after the birthday next week? I think it's possible. But here's the thing, I will say as well. So after next week's event, so whatever next week's event is, following that should be around April Fool's Day. And I do have an old video that has the April Fool's event. And basically what happened there with Hero Wars is they picked 3 heroes and they decided to basically, it's very similar to the event that we had for the heroines, right? So we had 3 female heroes that are very strong and we had them featured, I want to say, not that long ago, maybe a week or 2 ago. But we should have a very similar event. We're going to have Masquerade skins coming, I think 3 brand new ones usually, and we'll have those 3 heroes that have new skins be featured. So that should be something coming up on April Fool's. So that's the start of next month. Just a heads up, that's something to expect. We'll also have Spring Fest shortly after it, which I think will be another 2 weeks after that. But as we get closer, I'll definitely talk about those more. But yeah, next week is a toss-up. We don't really know what's happening in terms of a for sure event, but I do think it's possible we see a Titan Soulstone event. You're talking about the Earth one specifically because we haven't had that one you said. We had the Fire and the Water ones recently. So who knows? It's possible. I know last year we had a Valkyrie's ally Valkyrie. Basically, it was a hero artifact event last time after this one. But who knows? It's possible that they switch it up and they give us a Titan Soulstone one. We'll know very shortly. I'll let you guys know in my Discord channel as soon as I know. But yeah, definitely. Corvus, Morgan, Phobos really wrecked shop, and the Archdemon ran out of time, and no hero died either. Hey, you know what? If you're finding good combos that work out and, none of your heroes die, and they do the damage, what more can you ask for, right? Okay, Winds of East event. Yeah, so we did have that one. I don't know if we'll have that again soon, but we definitely did have that one. I remember that. Actually, Winds of East event. That's the one that we just had. My mistake. That was all the 3 heroines. You're right. Are we expect new heroes? Not that I know of yet. So usually new heroes won't drop based on my estimations. We may have one drop before let's see. The next guaranteed 2 drops. I'm trying to think. So almost every year during Halloween, there's a new hero. And every year in Christmas, there's a guaranteed new hero. So I'm expecting 2 more heroes for sure. There could be another one. We don't really know yet, but I almost guarantee that we will see 2 brand new heroes, one in Halloween and one in Christmas. That's typically how Hero Wars has done it every year. But I don't think we'll have anything too new too soon. That's kind of my hope if I'm being 100% honest. Also, I am working on a tier list. A couple people have been asking me to remake a Facebook web tier list. I'm working on it. I promise we should have it up in the next 2 weeks, I said. So I'm hoping to have it up later this week. Maybe even, we'll see. That's what I'm hoping for. It's going to come down to if I can finish my homework early enough, I'll be finishing that up sooner rather than later. I promise. Okay, Titan should be near. Fair enough. Still waiting for new heroes to be introduced. I think it's going to be a little while before new heroes get introduced because I know a lot of people are still working on Yasmin. I've heard. Not me personally, but a lot of people are still working on Yasmin. And a lot of people still don't have Isaac. So, if you didn't play in Christmas, you're not going to have Isaac. At least that's my opinion on that. Will we get any new Titans anytime soon? So what I've heard on Titans is they're not going to do anything with Titans. And I think that's a good and a bad thing. Here's why I think it's good. I think it's good because then you don't have to worry about any new Titans coming in and being absolutely OP. But I think it's bad because it doesn't, nothing gets really changed in Titans. And nothing really gets shaken up. So good and bad, I haven't heard. I've heard that Hero Wars is very happy with the way the Titans are working right now. I don't know if I agree or disagree yet. But there's been talks of having a 4th element, but I know that Hero Wars has since shut that idea down. So I'm going to go with no new Titans in the near future. That's my hot take. Unless we hear news, not that I'm aware of. I would love to get a totem fragment soon. It's a pain to get without using way too many emeralds. I agree. I will say it cost me a lot of emeralds to get my totems to where they are. They definitely do help a lot for me personally, so I can't complain too much. But, for me, I got to finish off my skins and artifacts still. So I'm still a long ways from being done with my Titans completely. But I totally hear you on the amount of emeralds you need to spend on Titan Valley. It's a lot. Isaac is the hero of the month right now. Yes, that is true. You're right. But it's going to be hard to get Isaac to absolute just through these heroes, if you know what I mean. So it makes him harder to use because a lot of players, as they progress, right, they usually use on their main team heroes that are all absolute. So you can't really implement Isaac as an option if your Isaac is too weak. But you're right, you can obtain Isaac because he is the hero of the month. And on the 7th day, you're actually given a free Isaac completely. So that is a good call there. You're completely right, Wally. I will need to use 200k more emeralds to get a guaranteed fragment. A bit too much for my wallet at the moment. I hear you. That's a lot of emeralds. I still have trouble putting hero teams together. Is there help for that? Okay, so hero teams get complicated, and part of it is because they change. I mean, quite frankly. But a couple things that you probably want to keep in mind is that for hero teams, depending on who your opponent is, and right, I'm still working on counter videos too. I just haven't been able to put them out. I've actually had a couple of them pre-made. Just haven't had a chance to post them. But my first recommendation is to focus on physical attackers for teams, and then having magic attack teams. Those teams tend to do the best, and being aware of what weaknesses they have. So in my Kark countering video, I talk about Envari a lot. So typically I try to avoid Envari when I'm using a Kark, because Kark is my main hero on this team. Another hero I try to avoid typically is Yasmin, because Yasmin moves too fast for my Kark to typically hit. And it's also just a riskier matchup for me. When I see the twins, I like to personally put in Isaac because that's an automatic counter when we're talking about magic attack users. So it really depends on who you have, and if you tell me who your main damage dealer is, I can probably help you work around which heroes you might want to focus on. If that helps, Gary. I don't know. They should have a Totem Fragment event, something fun and interactive that would require the players to participate in order to claim rewards. I hear you, O Negro, but I will say, I know Totem Fragments for Hero Wars is a huge financial machine, and it's one of the ways that Hero Wars makes the most money. So I don't know if they would be willing to do that. I personally have no problem with that, but I do think that Hero Wars is very cautious when it comes to giving out Totem Fragments as well as Pet Soulstones because they are money makers for them. Good or bad, I don't know. I personally don't think that's good, but it is what it is, you know? I don't know. I know we beat progress in the game, need to keep one team empowered, but until now I did not decide what my team is. I want to power. So what do you think about this? Okay, so it sounds like you have a bunch of heroes that you've been working on, but you don't know which team you want to make out of it. So Ahmed, can you tell me what heroes you have and where they're at so I can kind of guide you? I know a couple of good meta teams, meaning that they're pretty common teams, but they're usually pretty strong, which is why they're common. And I can definitely try to help you out based off of the heroes that you have. If they do, they would add at least one new Titan for each element, but new Titans overall would break the cycle of who has the advantage and disadvantage. I agree with you, Wally, on that one. I do think that Hero Wars is struggling to come out with new content when it comes to Titans because of that rock, paper, scissors element that they have. And I think a fourth element would make things very complicated for Hero Wars to figure out. I think Christmas event was only a downer for me. Not getting fragment only make you a loser in that event. I mean, I feel for you, I do, but I will say you're not a loser if you don't get a fragment in that event. It's very difficult to do, honestly, and I think as long as you're able to progress and continue to increase your hero's strengths as well as your Titan strengths or whatever, as long as you're able to progress in the game, I don't think there's ever a point you'll be a loser. It's very much a game that growth is not exponential in this game. Growth is like slow and steady over time. So like, I don't know if you can see it, but like, it's really hard to see good results right away. But in Hero Wars, the longer you play, players will quit, players will get bored, stuff will happen. You'll end up slowly moving up the ladder. So I promise you, you're not a loser if you didn't get a fragment. I promise you on that one. Saying that magic damage teams is kind of ridiculous. I definitely will never say magic teams are weak. I personally use magic teams on my main account or on my server 51 account. I'll hop over to, well, I don't want to hop over right this second, but the team that I use on my other server that does really well is this team right here. And I never said magic teams are weak. That I would never say that because I personally think the Twins are two of the best heroes in the game. I've gotten a lot of people get mad at me for saying that, but I think it's true. I think Lars and Krista are the best duo in the game. I like Aurora with these guys. I like Celeste with these guys and Sebastian. So this is like my go-to team. And it's pretty much an all magic team. This is a great magic team that I really like. It's very difficult to beat. You really have to have a strategy to take out Lars early, or you need to disable Aurora, which is a little bit difficult for most players because then you have to invest in Chaba, who is not a very common hero. So yeah, I would never say magic damage teams are weak. I personally use magic damage teams. I will say sometimes they have disadvantages, but they're not weak. I would never say that personally. I know with my cart, well, maybe you were talking about me talking about using my cart team. So when I attack teams with cart, right? So this is my standard cart team here, right? My approach is a little bit different than a magic attack team. So when I have my cart team, I know which teams I can typically beat pretty easily. So I have a couple different strategies. One is a stacked strategy, which is this one. I call it stacked because what you're really doing is if your opponent has Sebastian, you're basically using Jorgen to weaken that Sebastian and have him focusing on neglecting or nullifying your Jorgen here, while your Kark and your Faceless deal massive damage, right? So because of that, right, you can take out teams really quick. When we're talking about battling against a team with the Twins, I like to put in Isaac because Isaac nullifies magic attackers in the fact that he also boosts physical attackers, and Kark is a physical attacker. So that is a huge advantage, and that's one of the reasons I would say when I target those magic attack teams, I do it with this team kind of in mind. Sometimes I'll switch it up. I'll put Martha in if I need more healing, if someone has a Yasmin with them. But for example, this is a team that I would use when I'm facing a magic attack team because Isaac is so good against those teams. Okay. Magic cannot defend anymore because of Isaac. I would say that's true and false. So I personally still use that same Aurora team that I use. Aurora, the Twins, Celeste, and Sebastian. And if the Isaac is not strong enough, I can knock out the entire team and then come back and knock out Isaac. So it is possible. It's not normally the best move, but it is possible. I can't say what's personal best. I got a cart team. Okay, so you have a cart team. So what you're going to want, I almost guarantee you're going to want Astaroth as your tank. Kark on his own just does not have enough health, in my opinion. That's my opinion. So you can take with it what you will. Around Kark, I typically like to use Nebula because Nebula also boosts physical attack and is a healer to a certain extent. Plus, heroes that are near Nebula get a physical attack stat boost. And again, Kark is a physical attacker. This means that he's going to deal more damage. With this lineup, I usually like to put Martha as another healer, and I typically have Faceless. Let me find him. And this is a pretty standard squad that I use. This is not a bad team, but one problem is when someone uses Jorgen on the opposing team. When that happens, sometimes I swap out Faceless for Sebastian. This will protect me from Jorgen, and it will still allow my card team to do a lot of damage. Other times, right, as I said, sometimes I'll take a stacked approach, and I'll use Jorgen because the opponent is not using Sebastian, the opponent is not using Jorgen. And then I'll also put in Faceless, or if I'm feeling like I don't need the extra damage, I will put in Martha. And these are just a couple of teams that I use with my Kark that might work for you. I don't really know all the teams that all the heroes that you have, but I hope that helps you out in kind of figuring out your Kark team. My only problem with Twins is that you can't have a healer on that team unless you're a spender, since all 3 are intelligence. That is a great point. I struggle with this too. So, okay, what Wally's saying here, in case you guys aren't up to date. So, the Twins, right? Both of these guys use intelligence skin stones, right? So does Celeste. So does Martha. Which means that you can't invest in all their skins equally. I typically recommend focusing on the Twins until you get them done. Then you move on to a healer. Because I have Aurora as well. Aurora is a strength skin stone, which is nice because then you can focus on her. And Sebastian, again, is a different type as well. He is, what is it? He is intelligence? No. Agility. He uses agility skin stones, so he's a different breed. But you're right, it is very difficult to basically field all those skin stones. But if you take your time, it's doable. My only problem with okay. Astaroth, Kark, Nebula, Martha, Faceless is what I use. That's a great squad, Renee. I would say if you are able to, try to also develop these 3 heroes as support, because then you can have more options when you're battling, a tough opponent. Let's say you can't normally beat them with your Faceless combo. If you can't beat them with that combo, having these 3 support heroes will be very useful for you in Arena. Just my opinion. That's what I do. So, I mean, if you look at my team here, right? So I have Astaroth and Kark pretty much almost, I think these guys might be maxed out. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure my Astaroth and Kark are maxed out. My Nebula is not maxed out, but, I'm working on her. She's doing pretty well. Sebastian is also not maxed. Close, but the glyphs aren't there. Faceless, I'm also working on. But I just like to have options. I think the more options that you have, the better it is. See, like my glyphs here are not even close. Artifacts are pretty far away. But I like to have all these heroes in a range that are usable. And for me, most players on my server are red. So having red heroes available is very useful so that I can swap my team when depending on the opponent that I'm facing. It allows me to have a higher chance of success in terms of winning. And here you can actually see I'm working on my Twins as well. I don't want them falling too far behind because I do want a second team for Grand Arena. And I also like them for different teams in adventures. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I am working on beating that boss, 10 times on the last adventure. So we've done it twice. Got 8 more times to go, but we're working on it. These days, it seems as though everyone is using those awesome Lilith plus Darkstar plus Judge teams. Wait, no, they're not. That you got me. That was a good one, Dwayne. You made me laugh on that one. I will say, I think Darkstar got to rework on mobile. Darkstar's actually really good on mobile now. Darkstar on Facebook. Let me check her out. I don't think they upgraded her. But I will be prepared if they end up doing that. Yeah, so they did not update Darkstar here on Facebook and web, but they did update her on mobile. On mobile, she's super good. So if they rework her, she could be a threat. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. So Lilith needs a rework. Just is not really doing anything for anyone. Judge needs a rework. Even worse, Judge is terrible. If I had to say there's the worst character in Hero Wars right now, it might be Judge. And again, I'm working on that tier list right now, but Judge is not a good hero. I have not seen Judge use very well. Heidi got a lot of upgrades. Heidi's not actually that bad now. And Heidi used to be one of the worst heroes in the game. No longer the case. So yeah, just gonna throw it out there. I got Jorgen and Sebastian upgraded. Isaac on the way. Renee, you're right on track then, man. your teams are right there. You're going to be looking really good, especially once you have those heroes available to you. I wouldn't worry about it at all. You're on track. Okay. Any good Kira teams? Yeah, there's a bunch of good Kira teams. My favorite Kira teams are these, and I know they're not popular, but I think people be sleeping on them. So I use, let's see. So I like Astaroth. I'm a big Astaroth fan. I realize he's not the best tank anymore with Aurora and the new dodge mechanic, but I still give Astaroth a lot of love. So with Kira, there's a couple different teams I like to run. And I like Nebula with them, and I like Martha. Martha is just a good healer. So what I like to do, depending on the team, right, assuming there's no Jorgen, I've seen good Yasmin teams with this, and I've also seen good Qing Mao teams with this. Let me find Qing Mao. These are a couple of good teams. Another good team that I've seen on defense is putting in Fox. Fox is highly underrated. I think Fox, okay, maybe Fox doesn't deal as much damage or is as good of protecting against more heroes, but Fox actually deals a good amount of damage using Nebula's boosts in the matchups and can be very effective. I've seen this type of lineup hold off some very good teams. I'm just saying. Yeah, another Kira team that I really like, and let me find it. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, I personally really like that team using Fox. But I also like Qing Mao, and then if you don't have Nebula, I've seen Celeste be put in there, but I personally don't like that combo. I do like Sebastian. Sebastian protects you against a Jorgen potentially, and also allows for more critical hit, which really works very well with Qing Mao. Just another thought there. But those are a couple teams that I would consider running. I know you also have on mobile, right? This is popular. I don't know if it's going to happen for Facebook specifically, but there are undead characters on mobile, so it might not help you as much here. But the team is basically this. And I haven't tried it out too much. I haven't done enough experimentation. This team has done well on mobile. I can't say how well it is on Facebook. These are not undead characters yet on Facebook that I'm aware of. But I would check this team out and maybe do some research on it before I used it. But experimental, I don't know. The other teams, though, are definitely good. The ones with Astaroth. Qing Mao is just really good with Kira. I also really like Yasmin with Kira. Nebula's always good. And Fox is not a bad option as well. So hopefully those give you a couple of ideas. Astaroth, Kira, ODH. That one's not bad too. That one's very offensive though. And one reason I am hesitant to recommend a team like that is because it is so offensively heavy. If something goes wrong to your Dorian and it gets moved around, could be a problem. But overall, it's probably not a bad team as well. I've never used this one, but I'm sure it's good. Let me find Helios. Oh no, I got Helios. We need Dorian. I'm sure this is a very offensive team. This team could definitely work as well. So good suggestion as well. Another team, yeah. So I've seen people have Kira next to Dorian and Martha because this just allows for Helios and Kira to feed off of Dorian. It's an interesting strategy. I've also seen, who did I see behind this? I saw someone put someone behind Martha, I think. Could be wrong. I don't know. I've seen a couple interesting teams, but I know Kira next Dorian is popular. So a couple things there. My favorite Kira team is Marcus and Vari. A couple good solid starters. I like both of those. Marcus and Vari, Qing Mao, Kira, and Nebula. I don't dislike this team, but here's the issue that I have with it, right? Kira's really good in the number 2 slot. She's not bad in the number 3 slot, but she's best in the 2 spot. So that is also why, and you'll notice here. So, and that's probably not a bad squad. I'm not taking anything away from that squad. But one reason I really like the Yasmin squad, while you have Kira in her third spot, let me find Kira. Okay, so as you guys know, Yasmin runs to the other side a lot, which puts Kira in the second position, allowing her to attack more often. So that's one reason I like her as well. It also leaves her a little bit more vulnerable, but I will say having her in the second spot is not a bad move also, because she has this ability to basically use her blades and attack everyone on the team with a basic attack. And if your Kira is strong enough, that can do a lot of damage. Just throwing that out there. I wouldn't put Kira with Corvus and Morgan and Phobos since no one is healing her. I actually think Phobos now has a healing skill. Let me double check that. I don't want to be wrong. Phobos. Heals the enemy with the lowest health by an amount equal to the damage that this hero dealt. So, Dark Deal does do a little bit of healing. Probably not as much as you would like your healer to do. But, Phobos definitely has a healing effect as well. All right, guys. So hopefully that really answered most of your guys' questions there. I know a lot of you guys had a lot going on there. But let's see. Lilith, Jude, Dorian, Mojo, Martha with pets. I don't have Ju available, but I'm sure that's a good team. I'll use Lilith alone because I still have Lilith available. But it's true, Lilith can get really big. And someone was saying as big as the Archdemon, so we can just play around with that real quick. Let's see, Lilith. I might as well throw in like a couple other heroes that are buffed. Don't really see a reason not to. Jet has a couple of skills that are useful to Kira. That is 100% accurate as well. I've definitely seen Jet used very effectively with Kira. I just think Jet's kind of hard to obtain, so I typically shy away from talking too much about Jet. But I agree that Jet definitely has some good capabilities and can be very useful to a Kira team. Jet's very difficult to acquire. But you're right, Jet can definitely be useful. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's making valid points, but yeah, those are a couple Kira teams that I like. I mean, obviously, you can test them out, see how they do. But yeah, that's kind of my hot take. You can see Lilith is growing here, about half this guy's size, and still growing. So here you can see she's still growing a little bit here, and now she's gotten up to here, almost equal size with the Archdemon himself. Got 2 minutes left in this matchup, which is being sped up, of course. Looks like she shrunk a little bit, but now she got big again. Now she shrunk. But yeah, she definitely gets pretty big. She definitely gets, I would say, on par with the Archdemon at points, which is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. But yeah, Heidi actually deals a good amount of damage in these matches. I'm always impressed. All right, guys. So I think I answered most of your guys' questions. And yeah, so things to look forward to next week. I'm not really sure what event we will have, but we should, after that, have a April Fool's event. That's typically what we have on both Facebook, actually on all platforms. We'll have it on Facebook, web, and even on mobile. At least we should, I believe. So after this week-long event ends, we'll have another event after that. And then after that event, we should have a April Fool's event which will also have Masquerade skins, which should be brand new. And just following up here, so if you do battle every single day and you get one slice of cake every single day, you should get all 6 of these rewards. I'm really looking forward to this frame. This avatar looks interesting as well. Plus, you basically get 3 skins for free and 100 soul stones. So overall, should be a good event. Plus, that doesn't include any of the daily rewards that you're getting. So hopefully it all works out for you guys. And I wanted to say thank you so much for hanging out, guys. It really, really means a lot. I really appreciate it. It was a blast hanging out with you guys. Thank you so much for all the thumbs up, solid comments, and interaction. And with that being said, I'm going to actually end this live stream right now. But thank you so much, everyone. And I look forward to seeing you all in Dominion. And I will see you all next week. Thank you so much, everyone.